Also like to thank everyone for coming out. For those of you who are participating right now, and for everyone who has registered for our second webinar over our product and the software that we have. My name is Ethan Grove. I'm the product marketer here at Upper Hand, and I have with me Lauren Brandsider. She is our training specialist. Lauren, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hey guys, how are you? Excited for our second webinar and to show you some really cool features that we've been working on and things that have been live in the system for a little bit.
Awesome, thanks, Lauren. Yeah, we're excited, like she said, and as you can see, this is best practices for our business owners. So just going over some key features and you know things in the software that you might be using already, or you might need a refresher, or you're not using at all. So hopefully we can get through some of those and help you guys out with your everyday duties. So today's agenda, we're going to go over three main parts of the software. We're going to go over some event management stuff, transaction reports, and payroll reports. From event management, we're going to go through creating classes and credit passes. We're going to go through creating and assigning resources to all your events. From the transaction report, we're going to go through navigating and searching transactions through the transaction report, and then also the ability to refund, certain transactions that are made. And from the payroll report, we're going to go through navigating, setting up, and adjusting payroll for your staff. And now Lauren is going to share her screen. And if you guys have any questions at all, just feel free to jump in the chat and ask those questions, and we'll do our best to answer those. And if we can't get to them all today, then we'll reach out individually and get you the answers for those. And also, there is a poll within this webinar that if you guys could fill out. It's just trying to gauge interest on what you guys want to see for our future webinars. I know some of them are more staff related stuff, more business owner related features, and we have going over Apex, or there's a couple more options there. But if you guys could get in there and fill that out, that would be much appreciated. Now I'm going to hand it over to Lauren.
Thanks, Ethan. So really excited to show you guys today. This is a feature that has been out for a little bit, but we haven't quite turned it on for everybody for a few reasons. So went through a beta test of going through classes, which is a new event type in the system, or event schedule. Have fixed schedules, we have open bookings, and we'll talk through those, but a new one is called classes. It's kind of a hybrid of both, but classes is pretty cool. So today what we're gonna do is walk through classes and how to set up the pricing for it and what that's gonna look like. It is very different than what you guys are used to seeing with open booking. A lot of the same functionalities, but there's a couple of really cool new things that I'm gonna show you guys. So without further ado, to create a new class in the system, from your events tab, green plus sign like always, new event. When your screen pops up here, you guys are used to seeing those 7 tabs across the top. This time, before we actually set class, I'm gonna do Speed 2.0 is the name of this specific class. Now, when I actually select the event schedule of class here, you notice that the tabs across the top minimize, and now we only have 4. So just to give you guys a refresher, fixed schedule is very much your camps, your clinics, any teen payments. Here's the big start and end date, and then it's that fixed price, and you're kind of assuming they're coming to each of those days in between. Open booking is the opposite. It's your rentals, it's your lessons, where you say, this is all the time we have available. Pick and choose that time slot that you want to come to. So classes is a little bit of both. If you think of classes, it's kind of if you had a Y membership, or if you guys go to your local gym and you say, okay, I want to sign up for this class. And a lot of times those classes recur, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday with the same trainer at the exact same time. So what we're going to be doing is setting up different schedules per staff member for this specific titled class, Speed 2.0. Okay, so class is going to be a little different. It's going to automatically populate on your calendar. It's going to automatically block it off, different than open booking, where somebody has to actually purchase that time slot in order for it to populate on your calendar. Classes are automatically going to show up for you. Only thing here is the event type on the right-hand side. So we'll select classes, no location in here, and no private event. This time with participants, a little different. This time it's just gender and age. So if you want to put that information, you can, do not have to. With pricing, also a little different. Pricing, you have to set up either a credit pass or a membership and do membership credits. That's the only way that people can purchase a class is through a credit pass or a membership, which we'll talk about. And then very last thing is marketing. You guys are used to seeing this. Put your event description, put an event image in here. This will be the landing page when your clients see this. So you want to make sure this looks good, especially if you want to market this event later on. Once you're done, you can either hit save to save it as a draft, post to make it live and active. I'm going to go ahead and post it. And when this happens, it's actually going to load and going to be a little different now. You guys are used to seeing a schedule tab in the event creation. What it actually does as soon as you hit save or post the very first time is take you to the event admin landing page to this schedule tab. To create a schedule, we're going to hit the black plus sign. When you are creating schedules, you want to think about it as your staff members' schedules. So as Lauren, the staff member, what days does she teach the Speed 2.0 class and what times are those at? Then as soon as we hit save, we'll add the next staff member, then the next staff member, then the next staff member. So very first thing in here is choose the staff member. We'll type in Lauren with her all caps in here. And then first thing is, okay, when is this class going to start? What's the very first day? We'll just say it's today. And we'll say that this class, instead of starting at 1:06, we'll start at 1 o'clock on the dot since that's a weird time. And we'll make it until 2 o'clock. Okay, now there's that time for that. But we want to make sure that we repeat it because class more than just on Fridays. We'll say she does it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you want to put an end date, you can. Or you can just say that it repeats a number of weeks. Some people do it season by season. Some people say, hey, this goes year round. We're just going to leave it in here. Other option is either set this day specific time. So if Monday, Wednesday, or Friday differ from one another, you can change those times. If they all stay the same, just leave it in there. This is where you'll put that class size in there. So we'll say 15 people. And then location, where are they driving to? And then the resource that it's occurring in. Okay, so I'll say my. Once all that information is done, we'll hit add schedule. Let it load in here. And then once this finishes loading, we'll see it under the schedule tab. It will show you every single day that this class is occurring. See the staff member? Nobody is signed up yet, obviously. But then 3 dotted lines, you view this session, and we talked about this on our last webinar, but this is where you could change the resource for just this class if it differs, or if Lauren knows she has a sub for one of the classes, she can remove herself and then add a different staff member. Okay, so that's how you kind of change any one of these. If you need to cancel any one of these specific days, 3 dotted lines, cancel session, it will show that cancellation in there for you. As a reminder, classes is a feature that everybody gets no matter what package you are, level 1 to level 3. Everybody gets classes. It is not turned on yet for people. It's only kind of by request. So if you guys love this feature after talking about it today, definitely reach out to your account manager. If you don't know who your account manager is, just reach out to our support team and they'll point you in the right direction. So we got our schedule for this. We can go ahead and go to credit passes because I want to talk about how to set up pricing. Again, either a credit pass or a membership is the way that you guys are going to set up pricing for this. Now, you guys are used to kind of seeing that drop-in rate for open bookings. You know, you just set it at, let's say, $25 per session. What you can do in credit passes is either set a drop-in rate, which we'll talk about, or you can make packages. So what I'm going to do is go to create new pass. Credit passes are a hybrid between memberships and the pricing in that actual event. If you guys are used to open bookings, when you set a package price in a lesson, for instance, you could do a 1-pack, a 5-pack, or a 10-pack. When somebody purchases a 5-pack in that lesson, they can only use those credits for that event and that event only. Credit passes allows you to kind of be flexible with your credits. Think of it as, you know, a punch. Let's say that we're going to do a 5-class pass. As a punch card, when you normally hand them out to your business, they come in, every time they sign up, you punch one of those spots around the card. Kind of a similar concept, But when they purchase this, every time they register for a class, it deducts a credit from their account. This allows for some flexibility though. So we can say, okay, use this 5-pack to any class we offer. Again, you can just do one if you want it as well, so that if you have those drop-in rates for the first time, they can kind of test out which class they want. This time it's different than memberships. This is not a recurring monthly price. It's a lot like your open bookings where you'd say, okay, it's that big one lump sum. So maybe for this, it's gonna be 200 bucks, or maybe it's just 100 bucks. Whatever you guys want it to be, when you put this price in here, they're gonna be paying 200 bucks up front and they automatically get those 5 credits in their account. What we allow for is to set an expiration if you want to though. So a couple of different options if you want this. You can set blank days from purchase that they have to use these 5 credits by, blank days from first use, or maybe you just want to set it by the end of the year they have to use these credits. So I always like blank days from purchase. Let's do 90 days from purchase. On the right-hand side, this is what you have to do in here. You have to actually tie those credits to what we're actually saying over here. So we set a quantity of 5. And this is where you're telling the system, this is how many we want to give this person. So 5 to the event type of classes. Any class or any event that you create under this event type, anybody that has purchased this credit pass now gets to use a credit for any class under this event type. So when we hit create and go back, we now have this beautiful 5 class pass in here. Okay, credit passes is very similar to classes in the sense that we haven't necessarily turned it on for everybody, just to make sure that it's the right fit for people. That's kind of why this webinar is so important. So if you also like credit passes, feel free to reach out to your account manager or the support team, and we will try and see if this is a great fit for you guys and turn it on to see if this is something you guys want. Okay, so that is credit passes. We are going to walk through what the scenario looks like now. So looks very similar to the client facing side. So I'll just do point of sale. Green plus sign, point of sale. Let's search for Lauren in here somewhere. There she is. Memberships pop up first. Credit passes next. So there's that 5 class pass. Add to cart. Continue. Continue. We're not going to give her any discount. And then she's going to pay us cash. So pretty easy to process that. Then when we go back into her account here, search for Lauren, we'll say that Lauren just purchased this credit pass. Now she actually wants to sign up for her class. So let's look and see what classes we got available. We have this acceleration one, boot camp, speed 2.0. That's the one we created. And here you will see Lauren just purchased that 5-pack. There's where those credits are. So if we just simply click on that box, then the schedule is going to pop up for the specific class that we just selected. And then as I'm selecting, you'll see these credits booking out. So we can say these are the classes she wants. Again, looks the same from the client facing side. And then all you have to do is hit book. Once that loads, then you're done. So that is the view with classes. Looks a little different, looks pretty awesome. And then that's the view with your credit passes. So just a little heads up, let's go to the calendar really fast because I want to show you guys what it looks like with classes on here. So we can see here's our power yoga class, acceleration class, and then let's see, where did we put speed 2.0? There it is. Okay, so this is what your classes will look like in blue. You can see those on your calendar. All right, so classes, credit passes, new feature, pretty awesome feature. Again, if you guys are interested, reach out to your account manager or the support team. Taking a little bit of a turn, now we want to go to resources. Now, resources is a level 3 feature. If you are not familiar with resources, resources are the areas in the facility that you would want to book out to make sure that you don't get double booked or overbooked. So if you have cages or courts or a weight room that you want to make sure you book out, that is called our resource feature, and that is a level 3 feature. So if you're interested and you're not, again, same thing, account manager, support team will point you in the right direction. If you do have resources, this resources tab is how we book it out. So you guys are used to seeing adding staff members to make sure you book them out. To create your resources, very upfront. Resources tab, create resource here. It is very, very simple. All you have to do is type in the name of that resource. So we can say that we have Cage 1. Other things that we have in here are allow staff preference. We have a lot of baseball facilities that love this because their guys or their ladies are very specific about what cages they want to work in for their lessons. So we can come down here and say, okay, Sydney loves cage 1 and Vince loves cage 1. Okay, when you do this, if Sydney gets chosen for a lesson at 9 a.m., it is automatically going to give her cage 1 if it's available. If Vince likewise gets chosen at, let's say, 10 a.m., same thing. If it's open, it will give it to Vince. Other thing here is link resource for the location. This is only applicable if you have more than one location of facility or where you guys operate out of. If you just have one facility or one location, you won't need to utilize this, but you can select a location if you need one. Otherwise, just hit save. Super simple. It is in there for you, so there's cage 1. Okay, you can always go back and edit or delete these if you need to. And then if we go to our calendar, and on this day view here, it's going to show us all of our staff members, but we want to see customize icon, all resources. This is also a view that you guys might really like. You can leave it up at the front desk so people can see what's going on. There's that cage 1. You can move them around if you need to, but this is just going to show you today or on the daily view what is going on in that resource. All right. So a feature that a lot of people like in the system, if you are an admin, and just as a reminder, only admins have access to this, is your transactions report. So left-hand side, transactions. This is by far the most used report we have in the system. When I get done showing you this, Ethan's going to show or tell you guys about something really exciting that's coming. But for the time being, the transaction report is fantastic. At the bottom here, we will see every line item that goes through the system. So any recurring membership payments, payment plans, somebody purchases today, all of those transactions will show up down here. But at the very top, we have filter options. So if you want a franchise location, those different locations you can filter by. Next one is payment status, so you can see any failed payments, pending, unpaid, refunds. You can filter by buyer, which is normally that parent, client, which is the participant, filter by product, which is the name of the event, product type, which is your event type, and then start and end date. Once you hit apply, it'll change down below, but then down at the bottom, you can scroll to the right, see event day, price, and then a lot of people like the coupon code. You can track, birthday coupons, discounts. If you do a custom discount, it's going to say manual. And then as we scroll all the way to the right, refund and send receipt. To refund from the transaction report, don't worry, nothing's going to happen. Select the refund button. A box will pop up in case you want to do a partial refund. Enter the amount in here that you're refunding and then issue refund. If they paid via card, it will go directly back on that card. Obviously, if they paid by cash, that's the refund you would have to hand over in person. Other new item is this resend receipt. When you click this, it's just going to say, are you sure you want to resend this particular transaction receipt to this person? If you hit yes, it'll resend to them. And then very last feature in here is exporting this report. Whatever you filter to, that is what is going to export in this report here. It will export to a CSV. Most people probably have Excel on their computer. So if that's the case, then it'll open up in Excel for you.
Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, this is definitely one of the most used reports we have, and just because there's so much information in it, and we've decided that there's a better way to present all this. So just a little background. We're going through a transaction refactor right now, which essentially means our engineering team is rewriting the code for how all transactions are, happening and processed within the software. So they're rewriting the code to make it better and, more robust, and just it'll be a good foundation for future innovation like we plan on doing. And once that refactor is pushed live, it's also going to push live some redesigns and some new reports that'll hopefully make things easier for you guys and really help with your flow, your workflow, and your efficiency when using, transactions and the orders and what items to refund and resending receipts, along with seeing what money you people owe you and things to that extent.
Yep, and Ethan's team is fantastic, the product team. So if you guys have any requests or any things that you, as you start to get in the system, you're like, man, I wish the transaction report would do this or have this. We'll show you at the end how you can submit some feedback. So definitely, we want to know how you are using it. What would make your lives easier? That's the whole reason why we build these features, is for you guys. So if you have any feedback or requests about this particular feature here, we'll show you here at the very end how you can submit ideas or feedback so that we build it out for you all instead of what we think would be the best idea. We want to hear from you guys. All right, so one of the very last things to show you guys is payroll. I'm going to go to contacts and go to staff. Now, just to let you guys know, for the payroll feature, it is a level 2 feature. It is not something that we are going to pay out through the system. There's no integration with a payroll system where we'd actually pay out. All we are doing in Upper Hand is reporting how much you should be paying your employees. And we have a couple of different types of payroll that we'll walk through. So just as a reminder, we're not going to pay out through the system. We're just doing it, making it a lot easier for you guys so that you don't have to track down every single week how many sessions they worked and how many hours they worked. So in the system here, I'm going to start with Annie. For each staff member, we're going to add specific payroll to their names. Now, the very first thing that you ever want to do is add your staff members to each event that they work. So if Annie works 3 different lesson events and she does 2 different classes, make sure you add her as a staff member on that specific event. Once that is done, click on Annie here, payroll tab, and we have 2 different types of payroll. They can have both, you can use both. It all kinds of depends on what type the staff member is. So to the right, we have a clock in, clock out feature, which I will show you guys. If you have front desk staff or people that do camps or concessions maybe, you can put their hourly rate that they do in here. All you have to do is type it in, hit save. This is for that clock in, clock out feature. I'll show you that in a minute. Down below this add rate is for event-specific payroll. So if Annie also teaches lessons and classes, we want to make sure that we're paying her for those lessons that she does. So in here, we're going to hit search, and it's going to pull up a list of every single event that we have created. Now we can say she does private sessions, and per private session, you can either put a percentage in here or an amount. We'll say per, in this private session is an hour. If they're 30 minutes, 45, take that into account. But for this here, we'll say for this hour lesson, we do $25 per hour. Hit save. Then you can add another rate and say, okay, she also does yoga class and boot camp class. And the rates are the exact same for both these classes. So we'll do $20 per hour class that she does. Hit save. Now, the way that this works, and I have a staff account up. Let me show you guys what this looks like. This is a staff member over here. Top right-hand corner, clock feature, and I'll show you guys tasks in a second, but we'll say that she's working the front desk today. This is Lauren, the staff member. Where is she working? At Upper Hand. And then all she's gonna do is clock in. She can get out of here, forget about it. It's green saying that she still hasn't clocked out yet. She can come back at the end of her shift, hit clock out. That is all she has to do for it to report. And I'll show you guys the payroll report. That is all the staff member has to do. For the event-based payroll, if she also works classes, all she has to do is come to her class today on the calendar and check Lauren in. Lauren is coming to Lauren's private session, okay? So all of these that she works, all they're gonna do is just check those clients in for being there. The way event-based payroll works, these sessions here, is check them in, and they have to be fully paid. If this client is unpaid, it will not track that that staff member has worked that session. Okay, so let me minimize this and we'll get back into our admin side. And we have reports and payroll. And here are all of the line items. You can see this event-based payroll is tracking time in, time out, how much you should be paying them here. Here's that total per line item. You guys can see all this information. So here's all the ones that Lauren just did. Here's that front desk staff in here. Here's those hours that she's working. And then here's those private sessions. As soon as she checked Lauren in for being there, it ran that yes, Lauren indeed did work that session. Now, an important thing to note is when you are setting up camps for your fixed schedule, when you're doing payroll for camps, your open bookings and your classes are paying per session. If you are paying staff member for the camp that they are working, remember it is the entirety of that camp or clinic. So if it is a 6-week long clinic or a week-long camp, make sure that amount reflects that entirety of the camp, not per day. It's okay, we're paying them $200 for being here for that week. So that's the only difference in payroll. But as we scroll to the top of this, you guys have some filters. So you can filter by time range, say, okay, last week to this week, what does that look like? I can even say, okay, today, what is everything today? Search by staff member if you want to. Task, which we have so many in here. You can search for those tasks, which we'll go back to this in a second. And then all of those event types that you have. So if you just want to look at classes versus your front desk staff, and then you can even search by attendee, which is the name of the client that actually came to that session. If you, for whatever reason, need to add your own entry for hourly clock in, clock out, only admins can do this, but from the top right-hand corner, you can manually add an entry here. So I could come into Lauren and say she forgot to clock in, clock out, select the date, the task, the location, and then those hours. So we can say 12A, and we'll just throw it in here to 4 p.m. It's gonna be a lot of hours in there. And then just hit add. If you need to edit this, you can, but after you hit add, it'll just run it in there for you. If you need to edit any of these 3 dotted lines, edit any of those, or you can delete any of these entries as admins. Staff members can see their own payroll. They can't do anything with it. Admins can see everybody's payroll since you guys are the ones dealing with the money and the transactions and all that good stuff. Entry here is only for those hourly. It's not going to be for the event-based. Okay. Very last thing to show you is in settings and time tracking. This is how you create those tasks. So create task here, super simple, just put the name, hit save. These just become those options for those staff members to choose when they're clocking in and clocking out. I'll go back, leave it on that page if anybody has any questions, and I'll open it up to any questions that Ethan has or let him kind of share what is next.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Lauren. We appreciate it showing us some of the good features that we have within the software, and hopefully you guys are utilizing those features. And if not, hopefully this was a good learning point for you. Now we're gonna. I don't see any questions in the chat right now, so we're gonna pivot towards some new features that we have. And the features that we're gonna go over are quick discount, cash drawer, and the SMS reminders. So as you can see, Lauren's pulling up the calendar right now, and this is where you're able to see, do our quick schedule feature. And from there, that's where your quick discount is applied. So she is signing up, Lauren Brandstatter. It's gonna get, the staff and the resource, select whatever package she likes. And then moving on to the next step of saving and charging, it'll, go through a little confirmation. And there, where she's at right now, you'll see you can add a discount. And you can either add a percentage discount or a dollar amount discount. In this instance, she's going to add a dollar discount of $5. So it's going to make it $65 for the total. And the next feature is our cash drawer. And when selecting cash as a payment method, you can see this little calculator appears below. And this, like I said, it's just there to help you give the correct amount of change back to the person paying with cash. And see, she put in the $80 and change due was $15, just to make your guys' life a little easier, so you don't have to, pull out your cell phone, or if you're really using a calculator. I feel like most people don't have calculators anymore, but who knows? So the next feature that we have is SMS reminders. This one's a little bit harder to show within the software, but Lauren's going to go into the back end of it and show you how to turn it on. If believe it's account settings.
Yep. And I don't know if my account will show it because I'm a super admin, but it'll be in your notifications up here. So I'm a super admin in the account. I won't be able to see it in here, but all admins will see this in here. It's just either your initials, or if you've added a nice picture in here, account settings, and then the tab of notifications, and you will see notifications in this box here for your email settings.
This feature is it's a level 2 and up, and since it's a new feature, you need to reach out to either support or your account manager to get that turned on. And turning that on will not automatically turn on SMS reminders, and they won't automatically send out reminders to everybody who is signed up for events. It just gives you the option to turn it on from the account settings as an admin. And then also another point to point out is the clients also have to opt into that as well. So they will have to go into their account settings through notifications and turn that on. And any client or staff member that does that will receive a notification for events within the next 24 hours that they happen to be tied to. All right, looks like we have a question in the Q&A. So the question was, Quick Schedule was not working appropriately on the iPad Pro. And we have been working on that on the engineering side and making sure that, it's suitable for all screens and everything along those lines. Let's see. I don't see any other questions. We can wait a couple minutes and go from there. But I guess for now would be a good time to go over the Resource Center and any feedback. And say if you do notice something that's not working correctly, feel free to reach out and report that as a bug, or hey, this isn't working properly, or how it should be, and we will gladly report that as a ticket and get that into the engineering side, because we're as many of you know, we're doing a lot of refactors lately because we want to eliminate all those bugs and all the finickiness of our software and just really make it a very robust and trustworthy software / platform for you guys to use for your business, and just ultimately help you guys improve as well. So in the Resource Center, where Lauren has pulled up, this is where you have multiple options. You'll get notifications of what's new. As you can see, we have new browse events for clients. That's one of the things we went over. Just a lot of new features are in this what's new section. And, we put our webinars in there. We put our resources and our blogs and everything in there. Just go back. We have a quick start checklist. We have a few guides that we are, that you guys can use if you are forgetting how to do something. We're actually working on a whole new set of guides that should be available by the end of this quarter. That'll help you guys with everything that we're doing in the software, especially during these webinars. We're doing these so you guys will learn, but we also are making it available within the Resource Center. So you don't have to watch a video, and it'll be a step-by-step guide, and click here, this is what it does, explanation, here are your paths that you can take, and that sort of thing. And then within the support tab, we have our help desk where you can see articles and more. You can contact our support team and submit a ticket, say for, if we do have a bug in our Quick Schedule or anything like that, you can go in there and let us know. You can submit an idea, and this will link you to the portal, our product portal that we have, and directly submit an idea for a new feature or anything you would like to see. And now Lauren clicked on the product portal tab, and this is our product portal that we've discussed this in the last webinar, but we show what we have recently launched, what we're building, what we plan on building, and then just ideas that we have. And each card has a description and a graphic or animation, and then how important it is to you. And you guys can go in there and you can vote on things. And we really value this feedback because we are building this product for you. So we want to hear what you guys want, and you can go in here and vote, and that helps us know. I mean, you might not want to hop on a phone call with someone from our team, which everyone's great to talk to. Trust me, believe me. But yeah, you might not want to hop on the phone, so you can come on our portal, and submit an idea or vote on features that, the ones with the most votes are more likely to get pushed into production and pushed in that building stage. Another thing that we have that our team has been working hard on during this COVID period is resources for starting up reopening your business. And so we have our sports and fitness reopening kit, and you can do this on our website. Go to resources, and there's drop down. It's COVID-19 Hub, and we have a variety of options of checklist to help you reopen your business, and just a lot of good resources that'll help you out in the long run. Say that is wrapping up all we have. If you guys haven't voted on the poll, please do so. We really want to hear what you guys want to hear in our next set of webinars. And I just want to thank you guys all for coming out and registering and all the constant support. And we're here to support you as well. And Lauren, thank you. And everyone have a good day.
Thank you.